hello again. So we're going to talk about applications here. As a reminder, we'll do so under safe harbor. We will talk about roadmap. We will talk about our future product direction. So you've heard us say throughout the event here that AI changes everything. And I think what's really important to understand is that for all the reasons Clay just described, for everything that we're doing in OCI, our ability to deliver AI to our customers embedded inside of our application stack, and the ability to have just an unbelievable time to value, we think is unmatched. I think we've gotten to a point, Steve and I have been discussing this in the week, is that in our applications suite across the board, when you think about our Fusion applications, our front of the house applications like CX, our industry applications, we're at the point where there isn't a difference between the AI version and the non-AI version. It just doesn't exist. And we'll go through some examples of some of those things. We're seeing, particularly in healthcare, we just went generally available with a new EHR. It's all AI. You can't choose not to consume AI to actually run the application. Now, if we didn't make all the investments we've made, if Clay and Mark were out there, attracting all these wonderful models to OCI, we would not be able to deliver that as a packaged service. And that's one of the things that I think when we see in the application market, when people say, well, maybe there's not an ROI on this stuff. Actually, I think it's because they're trying to stitch too many things together. They've got too many vendors involved, and they get right back into this old mantra of a very large implementation, a very large time and materials implementations, which frankly customers are losing patience for. That's not at all what we're doing. We're actually winning more customers because we're shifting our focus to outcomes. We're winning retail customers in Germany. We're displacing them from SAP because we have an all-in platform of Fusion merchandising plus our retail applications. Our customers are achieving more. Our customers in healthcare, and I'll go through this example again, it went live with our AI agents. Within 3 weeks, the ROI in terms of return, the return on time spent with the system was 50%. Right? It wasn't small. It was by half. An order of magnitude by half. And the fact that we're delivering that as a service has been really just, we think, game-changing. And along the way, as we rely on all the OCI tech, we're also doing quite a bit with the AI data platform. And to make a long story short, good things happen when all the data's in one spot. And that has expanded our ecosystem such that we're not just talking about automating entire industries, but actually automating how those industries communicate with other industries. And we'll go through some of those examples in just a bit. But to dig in, Steve, if you could maybe take us through all the great things in Fusion that we've got with AI to start us off.
I can do just a couple of the great things in Fusion, Mike, thanks. So first off, let me just give you an update on our customers. So I think you'll find, and hopefully you've seen this week, just by walking around, we have a who's who of the top customers, the top brands, globally, by industry, by what I'll call heritage, meaning people who've moved off of eBusiness Suite, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Siebel, SAP, and a variety of other third-party applications. I used to show this slide really to show some credibility of Fusion and how Fusion is real. I think now it's unquestioned that Fusion is the market leader in terms of cloud-based applications. The reason why I show this slide now is twofold. First off, the growing trend what's happening is customers are going to phase 2, 3, and 4 of their projects. They started in ERP, they're adding HCM. They started in ERP and supply chain, they're adding CX. They're starting in ERP supply chain, and they're adding industry applications, or they have industry applications, and they're adding others. So it's a tremendous leverage to us. But more than that, the referenceability and the case studies we have in the customers. So just this morning, I was talking to a major airline who owns a variety of subsystems who have dozens of ERP systems. And what they want to do is they want to consolidate, but they are essentially a corporate headquarters with federated businesses. And they don't want to, while they want to bring the system together, they still want to have different lines of business. I was able to quickly give them, FedEx did that, except FedEx centralized it all, very similar industry to the airline, into a shared service. But they said, well, we don't want a shared service. No problem. That's exactly what DWP and the UK government did. Brought a bunch of government entities together, but had federated ownership. And as it turns out, this airline had already met with DWP at this conference, shared their use case, and are going to now connect with them offline and follow that same program. So this is not just a customer base that's buying more products. This is a customer base that's talking to each other and helping us expand and helping others expand and succeed. It's just a tremendous, tremendous success story for all these customers, including AI and including Oracle AI. Now, safe harbor aside, and Mike said we're going to talk about futures. Everything I'm going to talk about here in Fusion is not futures, is today. So as one example of AI being today, we start first, as always, at Oracle, our own use case. And we have, as you guys all know, a world-class finance organization, and we talk a lot about our efficiency of close and our speed of close and reporting. Well, we've just made that much better. Our internal finance group is rolling out our ledger agent. They're rolling out our payment agent. They're using AI to take an already extremely efficient group and fast group and make it more efficient. We've implemented agents across HR, even in functions we never really had, like HR benefits, goals and functions, using AI to improve there. And then for our support business, handling the support tickets, all of our external customers now have AI agents both on the front end to deflect SRs and questions, and for our assistants on the back end so that our support agents can better find the answers and service our customers. We've just rolled out those agents. Already we're seeing faster time to resolution, less people intervention, meaning less cost to us, and more accuracy of the resolution, and it's resulting in greater customer satisfaction on the SR surveys. So we're, Safra's mantra, we're paying less, and we're doing a better job of it through the AI agents. And those are just 3 examples at Oracle. Now, what we announced, what I talked about at this conference last year, was that we would have 100 AI agents in Fusion. We actually have 600 AI agents, 400 plus in Fusion, 200 plus in the industry verticals. But that is a massive understatement into AI, because what we've built is an AI ecosystem across Fusion. One are the agents that we built internal to Fusion. Second, however, is we have an agent studio that allows our customers to modify what we give them in agents, to build their own agents, to integrate with third parties. And then at this conference, we just announced an agent marketplace. The agent marketplace allowing you to extend and expand them, and we have over 24 partners part of the marketplace, each who've contributed already have about a half a dozen agents together. So the 600 are agents that we've built. That does not count agents that our customers are building through the Agent Studio. That does not count what our partners have built.
Steve, and I think what's really interesting about that, as we discussed, is that you have kind of this age-old this age-old question in procurement cycles of build, buy, partner. I think your answer is, well, how about all 3?
Right.
You can build your own agents, you can buy partner agents, or you can buy our agents, but you're doing it on the safety and security of a single platform, right? It's still not this idea of stitching a bunch of things together and bringing a bunch of bespoke.
Well, I think that last but is a significant difference, because in theory, could you use a third-party agentic framework and build agents on top of Fusion? Absolutely. Right. However, when you build Fusion agents on top of the agent platform or use ours, the context is there. So it knows Mike Cecilia, it knows your role within Oracle. It knows what you can see and what you can't see.
I had no access, I tried to do
now you have all access, but let me pick a different example. When you're Steve Miranda, you have somewhat more limited access. So it knows, but the benefits agent example. So if I log into Oracle, we have the benefit agent, and I want to ask it a question. I'm traveling in Europe, I want a prescription, is it covered or not? I have someone on my team has a leave of absence, they want to extend it. Do they need to extend COBRA? There's all sorts of benefits questions. Well, the agent native to Fusion, not only can our customers configure them in all the ways you see here, but it's embedded contextual and secure. So it knows the person's role, it knows their HR status, so it knows their tenure, it knows what healthcare plan they've selected, it knows what country they're in, so it knows exactly the benefits policy on which to answer the questions. If you had a bespoke or build your own, you could certainly do that, but if you did it totally outside of the Oracle ecosystem, you have to code in the security, you have to code in the context, and you have to keep that updated always for every agent you do. It's a much different time to value, to your point, and that's where we're seeing the difference in our customers adopting this quickly and moving forward. And by the way, we now have over 32,000 people, and actually I think this is well, I know this is already dated, I think it's almost 40,000 at this point, certified on our Agent Studio. This is Oracle Internal, Oracle Consulting. These are our partners. To show you a list of the partners, I talked about those 24 Agent Studio. These are partners, large and small, that have already been certified and already delivered, again, at least half a dozen agents each that have been validated by our development team to the agent marketplace. Every one of these agents is available to every one of our customers at no additional cost. So these are agents that are contributed to make the implementations easier, make industry functionality easier, make things better across the board. And I said it was a massive understatement. So not only are the 600 that we built, doesn't count what our customers built, doesn't count the marketplace. We had a hackathon on Monday at this event. Mike and I were just talking about it. Mike got a chance to poke his head into it. We had a little bit over 165 different partners and customers, and it's all sitting around a table in rooms like this. So last year, for perspective, I promised 100 agents in Fusion. On Monday, not from Oracle, partners and customers, in a hackathon, they built 109 agents, which will go into the marketplace. So when you talk about the speed and progress across the applications and the speed and progress of consuming AI and consuming all the great things that Clay talked about, that's just a perfect example. Okay, so let's take a look about industries.
Okay, thanks, Steve. All right, so today already in our industry applications, or whether they're edge applications or they're more sophisticated applications like core banking, we have 2,400 customers that are already leveraging Oracle AI, embedded Oracle AI inside these applications today. They are live across a large variety of industries. And again, as Steve mentioned, we have over 200 AI agents, features and agents just in our industry portfolio live today. We'll eclipse that, and I'll go through the numbers here in just a bit, very, very quickly in the coming months in terms of total agents to market. In our view, and we've heard a lot of feedback that aren't applications in the future really just a collection of agents. And isn't, what do you think about your stance there? And our view is, well, you're exactly right, and we're actually doing that thing exactly. Our applications stack, whether they're industry applications, Fusion applications, are quickly becoming a collection of AI agents, and our ability and our time to market is second to none. It's not just interesting that we have 2,400 customers live or 200 new AI agents, but if you go back 18 months, both of those numbers were zero. Zero. We had 0 AI agents live in our industry applications, and we had 0 industry customers live on any industry AI. 18 months later, we're at 2,400. In very sophisticated, highly regulated industries like healthcare, so far, the longest go live we've had with an AI agent has been 3 weeks. That's been the longest. The shortest has been in a matter of days. The amount of professional services dollars spent by the grand total of every customer, there were over 250 customers just in healthcare alone live on the AI agents, is zero. $0. Self-directed, self-implemented. The amount of dollars spent on training collectively by all of those customers is zero. Zero training, works out of the box, and keep in mind, these things are working in highly sophisticated clinical applications. These are running inpatient rooms with no training.
Yeah. I think just one point, your point about is SaaS going to change or what it is, especially in industry applications, but even take the finance example. Maria Smith's team at Oracle, their role isn't to use our user interface and type invoices into the system. Their role is to report our earnings, to pay our suppliers, to invoice our customers, to collect. Our IP was not our UI to do that. We take great pride in our IP.
Sure.
Our IP is how efficiently we organize that and give data to our customers. What we've done with these agents, the 600 plus, is we've allowed customers to do that more efficiently. That's what we've always done, and now we have that in a much, much more accelerated way.
And of course, Steve, it's all much easier when you're a custodian of all the data you need to build these agents, right? And the fact that all of this runs on the Oracle AI data platform makes this engineering cycle, this innovation cycle, just so much faster, and the ability to roll this out as a quarterly update. It's we're quite excited by our customers' ability to uptake this. So, as you know, we operate in many different industries, and I'll go through a couple examples here of agents that I think are really going to be very popular. The first is the embedded AI agent for retail. So this is an intelligent inventory agent. It's designed specifically to help customers bring together data from CRM, from merchandising, from Fusion Inventory, from Oracle Analytics Cloud, from Oracle X Store, which is a point-of-sale system that we have, from our procurement and order management systems in Fusion. The agent is not just a point of intelligence. It's not just helping retailers decide which product should I put on the shelf and what is the impact on my forecast demanding, my planning buys, and moving goods around, selling across channels, my omni-channel strategy. All that, of course, is an output of the agent. The intelligence is built into the agent to figure that out. But it's also a very interesting point of integration. If you think about how much money organizations spend today on integrating applications across the stacks. And agents do it mostly for free. I mean, the ability to traverse data from multiple sources across multiple systems. And by the way, the CX, the merchandising, the inventory, the analytics, the X-store, procurement, order management, they don't necessarily have to be all Oracle systems. That's not how the agents are designed. The agents are designed to pull from multiple systems and put together points of intelligence to give, in this case, the retailer very high visibility so they can flag potential inventory issues and translate complex data into very clear, transparent recommendations. I'm sure those of you who have covered or understand retail, inventory management is one of the costliest and most difficult things, and if they could avoid liquidation of inventory, it's real money back. So a lot going on in retail. I did mention a bit about healthcare. It's important to know that we've got dozens of AI agents live across our health ecosystem today. Many more planned. We're looking at chart review, care navigation, clinical decision support, patient risk predictions, preventative care, and many more. In fact, our next generation AI EHR is now generally available. It is generally available, and it is also approved by the regulators. This is also another interesting AI story. We've got customers running this in beta. Seema's going to talk a little bit more about this as we go forward and why we're so excited about this. And the feedback has been absolutely tremendous. You remember that these customers are coming from literally a Windows 95 Citrix experience to agentic AI. That's the leap of technology that we see in healthcare. And the feedback, it's not just a great business, and it's not just going to be a great growth engine for applications, but it's actually an emotional piece as well. I mean, the feedback that we get from providers and patients is this changes my life. It changes the way I practice medicine because you've actually given me a tool that helps me, not burdens me. And we've got a lot of competition in that market. But if you break it down and you think about AI as powering EHR, the one question I ask our competitors is, well, let's see, how many fuel cell power plants are you building on site right now? Because if you're not doing that, probably not going to have as good of a chance to be closely provisioned to a large language model and to apply reasoning models and all the things you actually need to make this work at scale to automate an entire hospital. Takes usually, the regulatory cycle for approval for electronic health record software today is about 2 to 3 years. So it takes about 2 to 3 years to get through a regulatory cycle. And you get this self-fulfilling prophecy. Because the cycle is so long for approval, people end up running very old technology for a very long period of time. Because the pain of switching is very high. We were able to get through the full regulatory cycle in the United States for this in 6 months. The reason we got through the regulatory so quickly is because we actually used AI to generate a lot of the documentation. Now we cross-checked it, we have a baseline, we make sure it's right, we make sure it's accurate. But it's actually saving us a tremendous amount of time and putting us in a position to be able to bring these products to market, particularly in heavily regulated industries like healthcare and banking and utilities, where there's a very large burden of documentation to actually bring products to market. Because in healthcare, you've got federal government regulations, but you also have state-specific regulations. California is different than Texas, for example, in terms of some of the things you need to do for Medicaid compliance. We're actually able to automate all of that process across our industry applications and bring these products to market. And in such, we think that regulators are actually happier with that as well. They're actually happier to receive more timely information. They're actually happier to reduce the burden on them in terms of having to review an incredibly complex set of documentation. I'll switch gears now to banking, which is a really interesting business. So, Steve, I mean, I know the Fusion applications are a very popular choice among big banks. They have core ERP systems, HCM systems, and the banks have largely had an appetite to move that to the cloud over the years. Now, when we talk about core banking systems, for lack of a better way to put it, the stuff that moves money around inside the bank, there's still a lot of mainframes, still a lot of mini, there's still a lot of very big iron running these applications. And we are definitely, if you look at core banking applications, move to the cloud, let alone move to AI. Okay, just think about just the first step. You're in single-digit percentages in the terms of that has been moved to the cloud. But as we said this week, AI changes everything. So the future of what we're building in helping banks move away from large on-premises bespoke applications is with an agentic approach. And we see this as a tremendous opportunity to unlock our core banking install base and actually to win new customers in the shift to the cloud. Again, very, very difficult in a highly regulated, very sophisticated application space like core banking, unless you're doing all of it. It's going to be very difficult for competitors to come in, we think, with piecemeal applications and stitch stuff together to make a core banking AI solution. So, just in the next year, at most, just in the next year, just in the core banking space, we'll have 125 agents live. And I'm going to go through some of those here in just a minute. Just in the next year. Steve last year made a prediction about 100. We ended up with 400. I think we have a good chance of being in a very similar situation here, where we're even surprised as to how fast we can go. So these are across a wide variety of banking and insurance spaces. They're going to include things for human interactions. We'll go through some of those a bit. Domain agents and actually those that are really focused on improving accuracy and processing of time. Our agents and features are designed to automate the entire bank or the insurance as a KP. We're talking about corporate banking, retail banking, revenue management, billing, insurance policy administration, and just got so many terrific things coming out. So I'm going to start with one of them, which is a huge pain point. Again, I'm not going to go all through all 125. I'm just going to pick two in the interest of time here. But financial crimes and compliance. So this is a huge pain point for the banks as we talk with them. So, many of you may know, and your colleagues, for those of you that are with the big banks, spend an incredible amount of time. It's very costly, it's very time consuming to investigate financial crimes. Unfortunately, financial crimes are not going away. And Celliant last year said the firm spent $155 billion in 2024 just on the investigation process. Tier 1 banks have thousands of people staffing investigative teams and are spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Leveraging AI, we can improve accuracy and drastically reduce the investigation time. So if you took a look at these three representative banks here, names withheld, but these banks in the chart, look how much they've disclosed that they're actually spending on this. We believe that our agentic approach, and we've been beta testing this with the banks, can save up to 60% of the work. Just in phase one of the agent, we should be able to knock out 60% of the work. So I'm going to take a look at some of it here. So this is the output of a case that's already fully being investigated by our financial crimes AI agent. And without the agent, the investigator would have spent hours, days, weeks opening this case, digging through the details, understanding the parties, their professions, and whether they had prior activity with the bank. With the AI investigator, the initial groundwork, it's already done. Before the investigator even opens the case, it's done. And we can immediately see, hopefully you can see on the slide, that this individual is, in this case, a retired nurse on a fixed income, and that she's had prior cases where suspicious wires were sent to unknown parties and they were blocked. Now, the AI investigator is going to give the investigator a total overview of the case. It's showing patterns, it's showing activities and typologies, and things like funnel behavior, repeated wire deposits, withdrawals to high-risk jurisdictions, and then I have the ability to see all of that over time. So the investigator runs through this, decides, and whether or not they agree with AI, with the findings, and if they want to dig deeper, they're certainly able to dig deeper manually. But the interface is going to show them all the relevant risk factors, and it provides a very clear narrative of what was observed versus what wasn't observed. And if the investigator agrees with the AI agent, they can finalize the decision. If not, they can intervene. The system's going to guide them through all the various views so they can quickly see what happened and why. Then the UI is built for the investigator to feel confident about decisions. This is just exactly the same way our AI works in healthcare. Not replacing the doctor, not taking away from the provider, but actually showing the provider, in this case, showing the investigator exactly how the decisions were built, exactly where they came from, and the investigator is always in the loop. So the person still signs off on this, but if you could do your job 60% faster as a result of this, I think we'd all be happy. So this is a really powerful shift. We think it's a perfect application of AI today in large banks. This is all generally available and really much easier for our customers to absorb because we're supplying as a service here the whole stack. It's OCI, it's the database, it's the core banking applications, it's the analytics, it's the generative AI data platform, the large language model integration, which wrote all the narratives here. In this case, again, if you're the custodian of all the data, it's so much easier to bring these type of agents to bank very, very quickly. All right, so I'll show you another one of the, number 2 of the 125 is our retail banking agent. So we're going to use AI here to improve both customer and bank experience and streamline a very critical business process. So ordinarily, the process of providing a personalized service to an individual customer inside a bank can be quite complex. I mean, banks, like all businesses, want to provide as much personalized service as they possibly can. But with AI, we think we can actually help the banks get to that more personalized consumer experience when they want to position exact services like loans or even before the customers may know they need them. So we've got a video here that we're going to play to show this agent.
Meet Grace, a retail banking customer who wants her bank to quietly have her back every step of her day. And Davis, her banker, determined to make every interaction meaningful. AI connects them in ways they don't even notice. Grace checks her AI-powered dashboard to review her net worth as she researches personal loan options. Based on her preferences and spend pattern, AI identifies that she will have a cash deficit in the near term, and accordingly, the product recommendation agent scans through all eligible products and offers the most relevant loan products which suit Grace's requirements, and has lined them up for her to review. The personalized product agent chooses offers, helps compare products, and draws up a product summary for easy consumption. With a few taps, the smart application agent lets Grace upload her documents and initiate her application. The personalized repayment plan agent draws up a personalized repayment schedule based on her cash flows. It identifies additional cash availability in November, increases the corresponding installment, and she checks and accepts the plan. The application lands with Davis, the banker. Davis logs in and looks at his AI-powered dashboard where his day is organized and a proposed schedule is planned out for him. He returns to reviewing Grace's loan application. The application tracker agent clearly categorizes the loan application by risk, completeness, timeliness, and approval probability. The credit decisioning agent also helps improve his due diligence with the responses to a qualitative scorecard based on Grace's application. The agent auto-approves the personal loan based on Grace's credit profile, and with a risk-based pricing discount in minutes. Davis uses an AI-first ecosystem of experience and domain agents to streamline tasks, manage risks, and deliver personalized services, reinforcing his role as a custodian of trust. AI also integrates the bank into Grace's lifestyle, offering conversational engagement and tailored services supporting her financial wellness.
Okay, 123 more of those agents. Such agents are planned for the next year here. So we'll have a lot more to say about banking. Again, it's an industry where I think AI is just going to be agentic AI applications are going to be a tremendous wedge to move a very large, very dated infrastructure base, both applications and infrastructure as well, to our cloud and AI solutions. So you see some of the stats across other industries. Again, I won't go through all the industries. I spoke about the clinical AI piece for hospitals. In hospitality, we released an upsell AI agent, which helps hoteliers understand where the upsell wheel may be, what's the sweet spot for engaging with customers, how many weeks prior to check-in, what are the services these people like, and how do we understand how to position. Just in year 1 of rolling it out, which was actually on just a small bit of our install base for hotels, hoteliers generate $350 million in upsell. That's what they reported back to us in the upsell wheel from this AI agent. I spoke about the financial crimes and AI investigator. We just rolled out a brand new agent for energy optimization in our O-Power stack, and very early days, but we got an immediate feedback from one of our very large energy customers that it saved them $2 million instantly in reduced calls to their call center. So this story goes on and on and on across the board. What's really interesting about the banks, too, if I go back to that before I ask Mark for his comments, is the whole stack advantage, I think, is really interesting in banks. We're having conversations not just about how do you take all these very old custom bespoke applications and how do you take everything that's bolted onto them and how do we use AI as an unlock mechanism to move them. but what are you going to do with all of your infrastructure? And because of our dedicated region in OCI, we're actually having an entire stack conversation with these customers, and we think it's different than our competitors. Now, you've heard us say many times before that we have the widest portfolio of applications, of technology services, of cloud services, GPU, CPU on the market, and that's been something that we've all been quite proud of, and that we've been able to be so good in all those industries. One of the things that sometimes is a little suboptimal in that market is that you have a lot of salespeople. You have a lot of people who are calling on customers in many different pieces. And in the on-premises days, and even in early cloud days, that worked because a lot of the buying was by pillar. But now we're seeing a shift in customer buying patterns, and we're seeing customers, as we position the whole stack, really wanting to talk about outcomes and less about all the parts that make up the outcome. In other words, we're selling and positioning to the customer an outcome. We're selling a 70% reduction in financial crimes. We're selling a 49% reduction in paperwork for healthcare. And in order to do that, we made a lot of changes about our go-to-market strategy. And I think that those changes are just as important as everything we've done in the product stack, so that we can accurately communicate that to customers and engage with customers at the senior level. So Mark, I'm going to ask you to kind of walk us through what we've done to address this whole stack advantage.
Perfect. Thanks, Mike. I think AI changes everything. It changes how we develop products. It changes how we deliver products. It changes how our customers consume our AI agents embedded in our applications and our AI database and the capability that exists. It also changes how we go to market. It's given us a unique opportunity to really transform how we engage our customers, to bring the power of our entire portfolio to the industries and the customers that we serve all around the world. There's three key things that I want to make sure that we all can walk away with, is that we are making Oracle easier to understand, easier to do business with. We have simplified and unified our teams of how we go to market and how we bring the capabilities of the industry suites of applications that have embedded agents and the ability to build and extend on our agent platforms. The ability to deploy our database anywhere and allow our customers to take advantage of the AI database that has AI native capabilities in our data platform, or take advantage of that infrastructure. And we've done that in a way that allows our customers to work with us in a more seamless fashion. In addition to that, as Mike was describing the capabilities that come across the entire platform, when we work with our customers around bringing our infrastructure, our data, and our applications together, that one Oracle advantage, when we do that at scale, the opportunity is incredible for our customers to be able to consume and bring outcomes that deliver real value, where they're not focused on integrating solutions. They're not focused on deploying differentiated capabilities. They're not worrying about where their data is moving and how is it secured or not. When we bring that entire value, we do truly bring an advantage to our customers to focus on the things that matter most to them, which is the services that they are providing to their customers or their employees. And it also gives us a unique advantage to help our customers accelerate on their AI transformations with the capabilities that we have throughout the portfolio. So let me start with the simpler, unified approach to the go-to-market. At the top level, it's bringing the Oracle brand to our customers. It's Oracle to our customer, it's Oracle to governments, and in some cases, it's Oracle to countries around how we bring the full capability. And that may be, in certain instances, bringing our cloud to the customer with the full stack capabilities that exist. If we really think about our commercial teams, and AI didn't allow us to say we're going to reduce the commercial teams. It allowed us to deploy our resources so that we actually have more sellers in front of our customers that are bringing meaningful solutions for them. In our applications teams, we bring together our industry suites and our fusion suites together for our customers. If we're going into a retailer, we bring the entire suite of merchandising, right? Capabilities around inventory management, the back office around financial, consolidation, close, human capital. But also, we have the ability to bring other solutions. A retailer that may be online, but also stores that are deployed not only in the United States, but all over the world. Our engineering and construction platform, because they need to build out those capabilities and need project management resources. We bring some capabilities around financing solutions, loan and lease applications that these customers need. Also, they may have a call center Well, guess what? Our communications business has call center capabilities to allow that customer to take advantage of the AI inherent capabilities. So when we bring one resource to our customer around our full application suite, they can take advantage of the integrated capabilities that exist across that entire platform, which is a unique differentiation that there is no other competitor in the industry that has that capability. In addition to that, when we think about our AI data platform, and you'll hear from Larry later around the innovation around native AI capabilities in the Oracle AI database, and we announced and launched the AI data platform to allow our customers to take all that enterprise data. You know, our applications are data generators. They bring immense value around incremental data that is generated around a customer buying something, around an employee and how they work. Well, that data needs to go somewhere. And in that data platform, the ability to bring the latest large language models to inference off of that data, where that customer wants that data to be securely in that environment, allows us to help customers transform. Well, in the past, when customers bought on-premise, we had a person that was selling to them on-premise. We had a person that was providing them and selling them hardware. We had a person that was trying to sell cloud databases and capabilities. Well, no longer, it's one person that brings the entirety of our data platform to our customer, but giving them choice where they want to run. Database anywhere, on-premises, in OCI, in our multi-cloud partner capabilities, but also cloud at their facility as well. And in our infrastructure business, it's not just good enough to bring those Oracle workloads to OCI. We've developed a differentiated cloud. We've gone from a disruptor in the industry, right? From an underdog to a disruptor. And bringing compute, storage, network capabilities at a differentiated level to our customers allows us to be the destination cloud for many customers that have critical capabilities around high networking, high compute intensive workloads. But also, we become the destination cloud for training and inferencing, where we now have the ability to bring those models to the customers wherever they choose to securely and inference off of their private data. But again, the opportunity to bring the entire stack to our customers is differentiated, that no one else has the capabilities of this entire stack. We've never truly taken advantage of bringing it all together, and we are now. And this is an opportunity for us to continue to execute that scale across the globe of how we engage with every customer across every industry that we serve. But when we bring the one Oracle to our customers, we have incredible scale and advantage. Not only do our customers benefit from the integrated solutions and the capabilities, but Oracle also benefits. Let me give you some examples. If our customer base, if you can see here, 55% of the customers own a single product pillar, and let me explain that. And let's just call that 1x of spend. That may mean they own our database capabilities, or they may have a Fusion application. They may have ERP, or they may have HCM. They may be an infrastructure user and not amongst the other products. But that doesn't mean they're using all the products in that pillar. They spend 1x with Oracle. Well, as customers move down the path and have two pillars of those three, where they may actually be using our database on OCI, or they may be using database with a cloud at customer. They may be a Fusion user that's using OCI for integration capabilities to other applications. When they use two of those pillars, they spend 8 times more than the 55% of that customer base. As you move down the path and go to 3, where they're utilizing HCM and our data platform, with a cloud at customer, as an example, they spend 25 times more the average base. And that doesn't mean they're using everything out of the suite. It doesn't mean they're using the retail solution with merchandising, and warehouse management and Fusion across HCM and ERP and CX and supply chain. It just may mean they're using one of those products. But truly, as you go up the scale, where customers are truly taking advantage of the entire suite, where a utility is taking advantage of our operational solutions and capabilities that cut across their customer care and meter data management, they're operating the grid, they're taking advantage of our energy efficiency solutions, managing their financial capabilities, their customer experience, their human capital, running it on OCI, and taking advantage of our data platform across their business. 2% of our customers in that category, 150 times on average. That's on average. That means customers are spending 300, 400, 500 times as well when they truly take advantage of the entire suite. That is why we have changed our go-to-market to simplify how we're engaging with our customers and executing. And it's not only how we're engaging, but we're also transforming how we're allowing them to consume our products. You know, we started this with OCI, and we have a universal credit because customers don't know exactly what they're going to use out of the products. They may flex in their compute. They may need more network. They may have some different types of storage. Well, we just announced our multi-cloud credit capability for our customers to deploy their database anywhere. It's one price no matter where they choose to deploy. And we're going to continue to modernize and do the same with our applications for our customers and make it easier to consume and move up the stack for them to get more value out of our solutions. And there's just some examples.
Yeah, sorry, I think, Mark, just to clarify too, the customers are actually spending less. They're just spending more with
us.
Oracle.
Correct.
Because what Mike talked about, the single stack advantage and all the engineering and putting all the pieces together, instead of customers having to stitch it together and spending the money between that, they get 2 components, 3 components, and more that Mark shared.
And it's not, you know, and in any one of these categories, on a standalone product basis, Oracle is still right, rated as a top product and capability in that area. So bringing it together does not sacrifice the customer's capabilities, but it truly takes advantage of all of the integration that exists across the platform, where customers can blend together different solutions and take advantage of capabilities across industries, and whether that's in financial services, along with our Fusion platform and our data platform. It allows them to spend their time, energy, and effort focusing on the things that matter most to them around their transformation, around their AI deployments, and not worrying about integrations, not worrying about patching, not worrying about continuing to make sure things are going to work together. What cloud is it in? Where is it in? How does that need to work? We're allowing them to take advantage of the capabilities and the work that we are doing. And here's just a smattering of examples that you see here, which it doesn't cover every industry that we're in, but you could see it covers a variety of industries, whether it's in the energy industry and utilities, transportation, logistics, healthcare, financial services, hospitality, communications, high tech. It cuts across every one of these industries. And whether customers choose to start with the entire platform, like Exelon, and Mike, you had the CEO of Exelon with you on stage on Monday, or it's Atlanticare that's focused on deploying our latest AI-enabled health applications to have a data strategy running on OCI, where they're focused on providing outcomes to patients and not trying to worry about securing all of their applications and managing that infrastructure. Or whether it's Navy Federal that's deploying the SaaS core banking solutions as well as our Fusion suite. But their CEO talked about the need to have a foundation of data across their entire business running that on OCI. Or Avis. You know, Avis has deployed Fusion across their platform. They recently brought their entire data stack from another proprietary environment into the Oracle AI database, running on OCI, 1 trillion rows of data. Now they're deploying AI agents embedded in Fusion and extending those with the agent platform, and in a very short period of time realize the importance of how they can quickly tap in to that 1 trillion rows of data that they have in the Oracle AI database to deliver outcomes for their operations, their employees, and their customers to transform their experience, all running on OCI. And that is the Oracle advantage. When our customers take advantage of every layer of the stack, and whether that's in OCI, where we've gone from an underdog to a disruptor, where we train and inference on the largest large language models in the world, having the most secure, scalable, and deployable performant platform in the industry, to our AI data platform, where we have the AI database with AI capabilities native to allow our customers to transform all of their data to be enterprise ready for AI capabilities, and our most complete suite of industry applications. It is a simpler, easier approach to the marketplace. It is truly differentiated that no one else has to allow us to accelerate our growth, but more importantly is to help our customers transform on their AI journeys. It truly is an unprecedented time, and AI changes everything of how we go to market as well.
Mark, quick question. Early days in rolling this out, what's the feedback been from our customers? And Steve, I know you mentioned you heard some of it as well, in terms of our new approach to customer engagement.
The feedback has been amazing. The conversation quickly transforms to, I didn't know that you had all of those capabilities because it wasn't necessarily brought to me in the past. Right. Because there was so many different people. Now I can see where you've developed, how you develop, and more importantly, how you can help me drive outcomes. It's amazing to see our customers, even many of the customers that were here speaking this week, learn so much more about what we have to offer, and by doing it in a much simpler approach. Yeah. And we're seeing our pipeline grow, we're seeing customers choose more of the full suite of our capabilities, and they're selecting to run it on our infrastructure as well.
Perfect. Mark, Steve, thank you very much.
I've gotten feedback of simplicity too, so yeah, it's great.
Great. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.